Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Greg Drake, Butler County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Joanna, and good morning, South Central Kentucky. It's great to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here today because we're going to talk about a topic. You know, spring kind of brings out where we all want to get out and do things, and there's a lot of people who say, you know what, I'd like to farm. This is fun, and enjoyable. But there's probably some advice that goes along with becoming a farmer.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I think both of us have learned during the pandemic when people were home is there's been a big rise in folks that are interested in food production, interested maybe in producing their own, even if it's as simple as eggs, but meat production, starting that farm. I get more calls and folks coming into the extension office in the last couple of years than I have in a long time about beginning farmers, how to get started farming. And maybe somebody inherited a farm, maybe they live on the farm with their parents and their parents are kind of phasing out. There's a lot of things that new farmers need to consider, and we have some resources that we can help those folks with, but there is no magic bullet. And one of the questions that I disappoint many farmers each year with is when they're thinking about starting farming, there's not going to be a grant to help you get started. If you want to start farming, Joanna, you need to have some money. Everything costs more than what you think it's going to cost. Everything takes longer. If you're going to do it as your after hours job, when you tear up your farm equipment, it's always going to be on Saturday morning when you thought you were going to have the whole day to use it. So there's a lot to think about. There's also a lot of potential. There's a lot of great things associated with raising your family on the farm, kids learning responsibility, everybody getting to work together. So we encourage, of course, new farmers, but we certainly want folks to go into it making the preparations that they need to make.
And I think, Greg, one of those things is setting goals. Setting goals as a family, like what are your goals? Because we have people come in and they say, oh, grocery store prices are so expensive. I want to raise my own eggs so they'll be cheaper. And unfortunately, when you put the pencil and paper together with all that, those eggs are not going to be cheaper than the grocery store. But if your goal is to teach your kids about animal husbandry and about responsibility, and then some of those things you can't put a price tag on. And so those eggs are maybe not as expensive when you're looking at it, because I mean that's the reality. Farming is expensive and our input prices are high right now. But we have a lot of people with interest in raising their own food, just so they know that they have that and that they can do that.
You know, we in America here, we have the cheapest food supply as a percentage of how much money we earn. We're a little over 10% now. Um, but believe me, Greg Drake cannot raise eggs as cheap as the big egg companies. So we're seeing egg prices go up. That's the one everybody seems to notice and want to talk about. I guess it's because eggs has been 99 cents forever and now they're two and a quarter or whatever they are. Farm price for eggs needs to go up as well, because instead of feeding my chickens $4.50 corn, I'm now looking at having to feed $8 corn. And there's a lot of reasons to raise your own food, but because you're going to do it cheaper is certainly not one. Another thing that I think folks might ought to consider as they're thinking about starting a farm operation is the responsibility that you have. If you have your own livestock, you are responsible when it goes out and gets out and a car hits it or it tears up the neighbor's yard or whatever. So if a first-time farmer is thinking about starting, they need to have a visit with their insurance office, because the insurance types that we need as small farmers are different than we needed as a homeowner.
And that, I think that's the thing. There are so many things. We're talking about tax exempt numbers, farm serial numbers. You mentioned insurance. There's so many things that go along with that. But don't let that, just have your information. And we have that available at the extension office to walk you through. But most people, when they call, they say, what can I raise to make this farm payment? And unfortunately, it's just not that easy.
It is not that easy. Have the talk with your county extension agent. Figure it's going to take you a couple of years to get your operation started.
Absolutely. Well, Greg, appreciate the information. And if you're thinking about farming, make sure to contact your local extension office for help. Thanks for watching and have a great day.